If you're after more inclusive golf, let's spread the waves, let's move those barriers, says Ireland's Tom Doherty. Talking with Tom, it is clear he understands that the camaraderie and the togetherness that can be found at an inclusive golf event can create a great sense of community for those taking part. This man from Killarney, which is a tourist town in beautiful County Derry where the locals will always welcome you, is passionate about the need for community. And just recently, in 2022, after the COVID couple of years, he has begun to find himself on a mission to spread the vibe in his part of Ireland about how golf can help others, including those with a disability, how it can help physically, mentally and socially. You just need to remove the barriers, he says, and welcome new golfers with some sincerity. Doherty has seen that in Ireland as a nation is taking progressive strides to make the game more inclusive. He's not an elite golfer, he plays off 20 handicap due in part to a horrible bicycle accident when he was 15, but among his assets to spread positivity about golf are his smile, his intelligence and the use of language. Tom is also a natural networker after serving for many years at a high level of sports administration, and he loves the game of golf and talking about the game. We find Tom talking a lot on the last evening of one of the key annual Edgar events at the RSM European Playoff Series at Stratford-on-Avon Golf Club in England, competed for by 16 golfers with a disability from a host of countries. A big group of the players are having a celebratory drink together in one of the old-timer-clad pubs in the centre of the ancient town made famous by the playwright William Shakespeare. Shakespeare would have approved of the easy friendships and certainly loved the myriad of European accents in this hostelry. He would perhaps be impressed with the way Tom was making some of the group laugh loudly with his told stories, while at different moments speaking with others in quieter philosophical terms. The Irishman had quickly made firm new friends with Italians, Finns, Slovakia, French and English players. It was all a very happy evening all around, and mysteriously Guinness had become the international drink of choice for everyone present. Ironically, perhaps Tom's sense of fun that puts people at their ease today may have contributed to his life-changing accident when he was a schoolboy daydreaming of winning the Olympics on the track, playing for Kerry in the National Gaelic football finals or in the European Cup final for Liverpool FC.
Yeah, the accident, I don't have a great yarn to tell about it. It was a very simple story. So I was very energetic as a young person. School books, peer, sport, up there. So I was very active. Irish Gaelic football, soccer, basketball, athletics. You know, we're very strong. A lot of strong sporting clubs around where I'm from. So energetic, full of energy. Needed to burn some of it off. It was an old seminary school, famous for Irish Gaelic football. And there's a big church cathedral beside it, and there's a dike that runs for about 100 metres, and there's a pavement beside it. So we took a bike and we said, right, we're going to do wheelies. So my turn to do a wheelie. I did a wheelie for about six feet. I says, I'm cycle back to the guys I was with. I says, I'm going to get a ribbing as a young person. They're going to stick it to me that I can't handle a bicycle. Came close to this dike, about 6 feet, turned the handlebar turned but the wheel didn't, and I just rolled off and did a somersault, and I was paralysed from the chest down for a couple of weeks after that.
Very tough times for the family, and apart from his sporting dreams, Tom's education was severely disrupted at a crucial time. He would miss a year of school. He would be treated in the north of the country at the National Rehabilitation Hospital in County Dublin for 6 months, and then ongoing in the school holidays he would require regular physiotherapy. But his family were there for Tom, as the difficult months had to be worked through together.
Yeah. My family were always very supportive. Very much an Irish mother. Father, they come up and visit me and stuff. So it was Dublin. It was a 3.5 hour journey, or get the bus to be 3.5, 4 hours as well. And they all the family came up for Christmas, and they stayed up here. I was in over Christmas, so they all came up, and you know, it was nice to see them for rehab as well. So that was challenging because you went back a year and you were trying to meet. Even though I'm going back to my old school, every year kind of sticks to themselves. So I'm meeting new friends. So all that was challenging.
Tom is keen to say that he was immensely grateful that his family and their close friends always wanted to encourage him to take the space to find his way, to settle back into life and follow the right path for him after his traumatic event.
Life is different all of a sudden, and as a teenager, every teenager looks at things in certain ways, so when you put pluses onto that. But saying that, then again, it does give you a perspective on life. From a much younger age, you can say, well, okay, I do value this. I do value this, and hopefully that I always will.
Though Tom would regain movement in his left leg, he is left with a walking spinal injury and uses a cane to walk and a buggy on the golf course. He has to be very precise in his steps due to the possibility of tripping, losing balance, or a stranger accidentally disrupting his stride. Not to be held back as an adult, he still pursues sporting opportunity even though he had to sometimes battle against the inevitable negative occurrences that were all too prevalent for those with a disability in the 80s, 90s and so on. Tom maintained his love of basketball. He played wheelchair basketball with Kingdom Wheelers and Limerick Celtic in the National League for a number of years. But because of his injury, he moved into sports administration and as a role of disability advocate from an early age. Good for him and the sports he served. Tom's impressive CV in this area includes coaching in football, basketball and athletics, volunteer positions in the highly popular multi-sport Kerry Community Games, the region's own Olympics, and for the Football Association of Ireland Football for All programme, which helps young people who may not normally find access to the game to join in with football. Tom also enjoyed the role of chairman of Irish Wheelchair Sport for nearly 5 years. Today, he is a coach at Killarney Valley Athletic Club and is very proud of the highly inclusive and welcoming atmosphere the team of staff and the volunteers have created here. He was in his late 20s when he was first drawn into the golf community. Of course, the Kerry area of Ireland where Tom lives is blessed with some of the most beautiful and challenging golfing country in the world, including his home course, Killarney Golf and Fishing Club, a DP World Tour venue. This year, Tom found himself learning more about golf for the disabled and discovered Edgar tournaments on the internet. In fact, just 2 weeks after seeing Edgar online, we were talking with him after his very first round at the Edgar Johnny Ray Classic at Stoneleigh Deer Park Golf Club in Coventry.
Yeah, it's my first Edgar event, absolutely enjoying it. So I played the practice round yesterday, absolutely loved that because it broke the ice. I got a feeling, I got more of an understanding what it was all about, what are the players like, just look around and see who's who, and it's just a great way of meeting people, and I was more relaxed coming today. And it has, number one, the skill level, super, the ability, the strength, the weaknesses, coming over your weaknesses, and that's what golf is all about. And like for many, I've been playing golf for a good number of years, and everyone has their handicap, and it's the equaliser. And after looking at the players today, if there was a 4-ball at home in my club in Killarney Golf Club, Southern Ireland, I'd pick some of these guys and I'd make some sterling or euros. It's all great because you just get this opportunity to meet people, and it's like this. The company yesterday and the company I played with today, just having as we say in Ireland, just having great crack.
Tom, like everyone in his region, had battled through COVID and he was yearning for sociability as well as competition to sharpen his game again.
Oh, it is now, especially with the COVID and meeting people that were, that might have underlying, as well as their disabilities, might have underlying conditions as well, and they felt separated or they were afraid to go out and mix with people. And talking to people on the phone, there was a lot of mental anxiety. I said to myself, right, I want to do something. I want to get back into golf. So I looked it up. So there's the Irish organisation, Disability and Inclusive Golf, I believe is the name of the starter. Vivian is the named lady in charge. So that was 2 weeks ago. So I played with them. It was a social occasion. I got to meet them. And then researching on the internet, then I seen Edgar as well. And I said, yeah, do you know what? That's going to be my holidays. I'm going to take my holidays. I'm going to play golf. While I mentioned the fun aspect later on, I've got notions of being a pro, and I go back home and say, yeah, played in a pro tour, yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant, yeah.
Tom's instinct was to chat and joke with the youngest and the oldest of players. You would think he didn't care about the competitive side, but at the end of the week at Stoneleigh, it was Tom's name on the Stableford trophy. And while the competition was great for Tom himself, he was starting to see how he could play a part in getting more people in his region of Ireland, people with disability, to enjoy some golf, to get out there and play, or to try golf for the first time. He says his home club of Killarney Golf and Fishing Club has been hugely supportive, and when learning about this upcoming national competition, members presented him with some new golf clothing bearing the club's crest and colours. Tom is currently expanding his network online and in person in order to meet like-minded people who want to grow an inclusive game. He is full of praise for the team at Golf Ireland's recent work and has connected with Edgar advocate Gareth McNeely and made sure he supported the Irish Open at Roganstown in June. He was delighted to be one of the 4 golfers with disability to be invited to play in the Pro-Am of the KPMG Women's Irish Open in September, but couldn't make it, that because of the approaching Edgar tournament. Tom's enthusiasm clearly extends outside of his own personal bubble. He was hugely excited when he talked to us of the innovations of game technology, golf, adaptive, mobility, engineered support, designed to help wheelchair-based golfers, developed by students and staff at Munster Technological University at its Tralee campus near to where Tom lives. He was thrilled to see this work going on in his region of Ireland and has shared the information with many of his friends. Good times then, and his Stableford win at the Johnny Ray Classic, then a second place in the English Open, and his later win recently at Stratford, more of that in a minute, has created favourable publicity in Kerry, and Tom has been keen to tell the story of golfers with disability in the local media to spread awareness. Many times over the years he has been frustrated by sports funding politics, but he's excited about the potential that golf has for encouraging greater inclusion in his region.
It can get frustrating when you're an advocate for these issues, but because it's all about education and organisations taking responsibility and saying, yes, is golf for everyone? Is sport for everyone? Yes, it is. What stops a person? A barrier. Well, can we move that barrier aside? Yes, we can. Let's all play this game. Do you enjoy this game? Do you want other people to enjoy this game? Yes, I do. Let's spread the waves. Let's move those barriers. It's great to see it. Women in sport are getting funding, disability are getting funding. Most countries now have ratified the United Nations Disability Act. It's all fantastic. So in Ireland now, last couple of years, I see so many things improving at a national level, and like, to me, my mission is to bring it down local and say, like, do you understand?
Tom's excellent results meant that he had to sadly turn down the Pro-Am spot for the Women's Irish Open because he'd already qualified for the RSM European Playoff Series final in Stratford in 3 rounds of Stableford knockout. 16 Edgar players with a disability from regions of Europe, 8 in the Stableford and 8 in the net category, qualified to play in the 2nd annual tournament supported by leading audit, tax and consulting firm RSM. After progressing well in the first 2 rounds of the match play tournament, Tom found himself in the final where he was matched up with defending Stableford 2021 champion Miroslav Halmo of Slovakia. After many twists and turns, the 2 players both had opportunities to win the title at the 18th hole, but had to settle for a half on the final green after the pressure told. In fact, both players, who had travelled a long way in their personal journeys, faced short putts which would have been for the win. The 2 players both missed and trudged off the 18th green with that miserable feeling all golfers have endured. On the 19th tee, the playoff hole, Tom looked down on the green shamrock he had drawn on his ball. He told us he wished then for a little Irish luck. Nearly 10 minutes later, Tom lagged a 40-foot uphill putt stone dead to force victory over Miroslav, who had run him so close. Tom said to us later, "This was a great match and Miroslav and I fought hard but enjoyed plenty of smiles. This was a privilege to represent Killarney and Ireland in this excellent international event supported by RSM. Tom says he sees the social side of golf as fantastic, whether over a drink, a cup of coffee on the terrace, or chatting on the tees and fairways themselves. After the competition, the Edgar players went into the town, the home of William Shakespeare, the Bard of Avon. In the Golden Bee pub, the likes of Timo, Tero, Eduardo and Philippe all raised a glass of Guinness to Tom. After the hurly-burly's done is a Shakespearean phrase that might fit well with the drama earlier on that day on the 18th green for Tom, and now his new friend Miroslav, who of course is also with Tom enjoying a well-earned pint. But Tom is already looking ahead with a glint in his eye, ready to spread some waves when he gets back home to Kerry.